Well, thank you, everyone. Wow, what an honor. So I have to take my glasses off to read. You all know why. I don't have to explain it. Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, faculty, graduates, friends, and family members. It's truly an honor to be here today. Thank you, President Augsburger, for that very kind introduction and for inviting me to speak at this year's graduation ceremony. As a leading institution of optometry, your college provides a great service to Illinois, and I'm truly, personally, deeply grateful. You're responsible for a rich and intellectual tradition that has produced some of the greatest optometrists in the world. So when I was your age, most of your age, about 25 years old, I was pursuing a PhD at Northern Illinois University. I was knee-deep in international affairs and political economy books when I received a phone call that there was a flight slot opening at Fort Rucker, Alabama, because someone had canceled out of helicopter training, and could I make it down there in 72 hours. I'd worked for 2 years to prepare to fly helicopters for the Army, and I'm still astonished that I was entrusted to fly for our great nation and defend freedom and democracy around the world. I was humbled to serve, and leaving Chicago on that snowy day, as it was in February, was no great loss, as I was headed to Alabama. It was the best decision I had ever made. Graduates, I encourage you to jump at opportunities just like I did. Hopefully you'll have more than 72 hours notice, but don't hesitate when the path ahead seems daunting. My advice to you is to get out of your own way. Don't be afraid to take chances, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Your life is going to go through ups and downs and take you down paths you've never expected. While it's not been easy since I was injured, I've done things now since my injury that I would not have dreamed of doing. I've completed marathons, mostly because I made a promise in my hospital bed when this crazy woman came and said, "You're going to do the Chicago Marathon one day." And I remember thinking, I'm pretty sure I'm heavily medicated right now. But this woman just said I'm going to do marathons, and I have in a wheelchair. So she was right. She was a patient advocate. I ran for Congress, and I've had a great opportunity to advocate for millions of veterans. But just as I have found success, I have also found devastating failure. I lost my run for Congress in 2006, something I worked so hard for, and I locked myself up in my bathroom and cried for 3 days in a bathtub, because it was the only place that my cell phone would not ring, with people saying, "Oh, you did a great job, I'm so sorry, but way to make the run." I was devastated. I probably should have just dropped the phone in the tub of water, because then I would not have to hang out in the bathroom for 3 days, but I wasn't thinking straight. But those failures just opened other doors for me. Because I failed in my run for Congress, I was able to then go on to work full-time on behalf of veterans. You know, that's when I really learned that I needed to get out of my own way to see how much I could truly accomplish. You know, I know that you've already shown your ability to take on opportunities just by being here today and what you've accomplished. You've made the great decision to study at the Illinois College of Optometry. And I know that at this point seems like second nature to you. But think about what you have committed your life to doing. You have dedicated your lives to helping others. I'm going to tell the story about Dr. Michelle and how she saved my eyes. I lived out in DeKalb, Illinois for a long time. She's been my long-time optometrist. And when I got that call that I was going to be deployed to Iraq, I went to see her because I am really hard on my glasses. I break them all the time. I lose them, I leave them behind, I crunch them all the time. So I always was back there every 6 months or so getting new glasses, because I was just horrible with them. And I went to her and I said, I just need to get some cheap glasses, a bunch of pairs of them. I'm going to combat. They're going to break anyway, and I'd rather go with about 6 different pairs and have a whole bunch of backups. And she said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going to be flying combat missions in my helicopter. And I've been wearing very thin frames because they fit better underneath my helmet. They were more comfortable. And she said, no, you're going to get this type of lens, and you're going to get titanium frames, and you're going to like it. And I thought, wait a minute, I'm the customer here. But she said, no, this is what you're going to go with, because I want your eyes protected in case something happened. I said, no, I wear a ballistic face shield on my helmet. It's supposed to help stop bullets. I'll be fine. She said, no, this is what you're going to go. And she insisted. And because we had built up a trust and a friendship over the years of me being her patient and her always listening to me and and working with me, I went ahead and bought the one pair instead of the 6 that I wanted, and went off to combat with them. On the day that I was shot down, the rocket propel grenade exploded in my lap, literally in my lap. The blast vaporized my right leg, took off my left, took off most of my right arm, and the fireball rose up in front of my face. My entire cockpit was wiped out, the avionics, everything, from the sheer force of the blast. I was later told that when they went back to get my equipment and when they pulled me out, my ballistic face shield had been broken into 3 pieces. The shrapnel had penetrated through the face shield and into my face. And I now, to this day, have shrapnel all around my eye sockets, but not a single one penetrated my glasses. Had she listened to me and given me what I had wanted initially, I would be blind today. But because she provided the polycarbonate lenses and because she insisted that I get the best that I could afford, she saved my eyesight. But the story doesn't end there. When I was in the hospital and I woke up after being in a medically induced coma, I was disoriented, my glasses had been broken, and I actually showed them to me. They had shrapnel penetrating into the lens, but not all the way through. I was disoriented, I was scared, I was in pain, I was highly medicated, everything was out of focus. And I had all of these doctors coming through talking about my medical condition, and I just saw blurs of people talking to me. And it just made my discomfort even greater, if it could have been. And my husband said to the docs, hey, I just need to get her some glasses. Is there a place where we can get her? Can Walter Reed provide her with glasses? And they said, well, we'll take probably about 3 to 4 weeks. He says, she's in pain, she's in the ICU, we need to do something. And that was what the Army said. And so what he did was he picked up the phone and he called Dr. Michelle. I had new glasses overnighted to me. She personally made sure they got made. She personally made sure that they were mailed to me overnighted. And the next day I had a pair of glasses that eased my comfort, gave me comfort and eased my pain. And it seems like a little thing, but it wasn't a little thing. It may have not even taken a lot of her time, but her dedication to her patients, the dedication that she learned here, that you've learned here, that she developed over a lifetime of service to her patients, made everything different for me and made everything more manageable. And so I thank you, and I hope you join that great tradition. You know, I believe that all Americans should have access to health and eye care in this country. All Americans deserve the highest quality of care, the kind of care that you have been trained to provide here. Our country needs your expertise, the expertise that you have learned, and we also need your dedication to caring for others. In the coming days, you will undoubtedly reflect on your experiences while studying here. I encourage you to reflect on the relationships you've nurtured, the skills you've developed, and all that you've learned. I also encourage you to never overlook the small moments, because it's really easy to make the big decisions in life. In the Army, it's really easy to say, take that kill, fight back in an ambush, but it's the day-to-day decisions, the tough challenges that I find are the most difficult. The Dr. Michelle's who had to tell a patient, no, this is what you're going to need. I know what you want, and if you want to go to another doctor, you can, but this is what you will need, and this is really what is going to be best for you in the conditions you're going to be under. And sticking to her guns, because she made all the difference. Those are the moments that you're going to face, those everyday decisions, when nobody is watching, and there's nobody to congratulate you, and there's nobody to give you the attaboys, but you're going to do it because you know that it is the right thing. And I thank you in advance for your future patients for that. I'm going to end by saying that your decision to study optometry will serve this country in ways you can't imagine. We need leaders and good doctors like you to ensure that all Americans are able to have quality care that they deserve. You've made a commitment, and I am here to tell you that it is a commitment well made. Congratulations, graduates, best wishes, and thank you for choosing this profession.